Alright, so imagine this: you wake up, scroll through your phone, and suddenly you see a device that feels way too good for its price, like it's not even trying to play fair anymore. That's exactly the vibe I got when I first looked at the Xiaomi Redmi Note 15 Special. This thing is coming in hot, with a massive battery, a bright AMOLED panel, and a surprisingly capable chip for what is basically a budget killer price segment, and today we're breaking it all down like a proper hands-on style review. So if you're into smartphones that punch above their weight, you're going to want to stick around. And before we go any further, make sure you hit that subscribe button and drop a like, because it really helps the channel grow and keeps these deep dives coming. Now, starting with the design, this phone is actually slimmer than you'd expect, coming in at around 7.4 millimeters, which is honestly impressive considering it packs a 5,800 milliamp battery inside. That's not something you usually see in this category. And weight-wise, it sits around that comfortable range, so it doesn't feel like a brick in your hand. What's more interesting is that Xiaomi is pushing durability here. You've got IP66 rating, which means it can handle dust and strong water jets, plus it's rated for drops up to 1.7 meters. Now, I wouldn't go throwing it around, but it definitely gives you that extra peace of mind in daily use. Flip it to the front, and this is where things start getting really exciting. You're looking at a 6.77-inch AMOLED display with a 120Hz refresh rate, and not just that, the peak brightness goes all the way up to 3,200 nits, which is crazy bright for a phone in this price range. Outdoor visibility should be excellent, and with 3,840 Hz PWM dimming, it's also easier on the eyes during long usage sessions. Colors are vibrant, blacks are deep, and overall, this is the kind of panel that makes scrolling, watching videos, and even gaming feel way more premium than you'd expect. Now, performance is another area where this phone is trying to balance things out smartly. It's powered by the Snapdragon 6 Gen 3 chip, which is built on a 4nm process and paired with up to 8 GB of RAM. This isn't a flagship processor, but for everyday usage, social media, multitasking, and even moderate gaming, it should hold up really well. The Adreno 710 GPU helps push decent graphics performance, and combined with that smooth 120Hz display, the experience should feel fluid most of the time. And for storage, you get options up to 256 GB, plus there's microSD support if you really need that extra space, which is something a lot of phones are dropping these days. Let's talk cameras, because that's always a big deal in this segment. You've got a 50-megapixel main sensor, and while it's not loaded with multiple lenses like some competitors, Xiaomi is focusing on getting the basics right. You can shoot 4K video at 30 frames per second, and there's gyro-based stabilization to keep things steady. Photos should come out sharp with decent dynamic range, especially in good lighting. And on the front, you've got a 20-megapixel selfie camera that can handle your video calls and social media uploads without any issues. It's not trying to be a flagship camera system, but it looks reliable and consistent, which honestly matters more for most people. And right in the middle of the experience is the software side of things. This phone runs on Android 15 with HyperOS 2 on top, and Xiaomi is promising up to 4 major Android updates, which is actually a big deal in this price category. That means this phone isn't just a short-term buy, it's something that can stay relevant for years. The interface is expected to be smooth, customizable, and packed with features, and if Xiaomi keeps optimizing it well, this could be one of the better software experiences in the mid-range space. Quick pause here. If you're enjoying this breakdown and you want more real talk tech reviews like this, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Now, let's get into what might be the biggest highlight of this phone, and that is the battery. A 5,800 milliamp unit is massive, and paired with a power-efficient chipset, this thing should easily last a full day and probably push into a second day for lighter users. Charging is handled by 45-watt wired speeds, which is solid, and you even get reverse wired charging at 18 watts, so you can top up other devices in a pinch. That's the kind of feature you usually see in higher-end phones, so it's nice to have it here. Audio and extras also look pretty good. You're getting stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos support, which should give a more immersive sound experience whether you're watching videos or playing games. There's no headphone jack, which might disappoint some people, but you do get high-resolution audio support over wired and wireless connections. Plus, there's an infrared blaster, which is kind of a classic Xiaomi move, letting you control appliances like TVs and ACs directly from your phone. Connectivity-wise, it checks most of the boxes with 5G support, dual-band Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 5.1, and all the major navigation systems covered. The only thing missing here is NFC, which could be a deal breaker for some, depending on how much you rely on contactless payments, but considering the price point, it's not entirely surprising. So when you step back and look at the full package, the Xiaomi Redmi Note 15 Special feels like one of those phones that's trying to redefine what you should expect for your money. You're getting a bright high refresh rate AMOLED display, a big battery, solid performance, a clean design, and long-term software support, all wrapped into a price that's expected to be around €190, which is honestly kind of wild if Xiaomi delivers on real-world performance and optimization. This could easily become one of the go-to recommendations in the mid-range category. That's pretty much it for this one. If you're thinking about upgrading or just curious about what the next wave of budget phones looks like, this is definitely a device to keep on your radar. And if you made it this far, don't forget to subscribe and like, because more videos like this are coming your way, and I'll catch you in the next one.